I'm delighted today to be speaking with Myia Cleggett. Myia is the founder of Mind Motivation Coaching and is a transformation and abundance coach. She empowers clients in building confidence, career, wealth creation, health, and wellness. Myia is an expert in the principles of rapid transformational therapy, positive psychology, neuroscience, quantum physics, law of attraction, and creative visualization. Her mission is to globally create a ripple effect of empowerment, transformation, and inspiration in personal and business growth and development. Wow, Myia, what an impressive bio. So welcome to the Louise M Empowerment Series today. Thanks for coming and talking with me.
Thank you so much, Louise. I just find this is just an amazing opportunity to spread everything to do with empowerment, and what you're doing I just feel is just wonderful, and you should be very proud of yourself.
Oh, thank you, Myia. Yeah, it's been really interesting speaking to different women and about empowerment. And so on that note, I would love to know your definition of empowerment.
Well, when I work with my clients, to empower them is basically to install in them or to reactivate in them that sense of that they are more than good enough, because so many people have that belief that they're not good enough. So, and that is very disempowering for them. So to empower is to really reactivate that sense of I am more than good enough, that I'm smart, that I'm intelligent, I'm resilient, I'm strong, I'm confident. All of those things, that creates empowerment, being able to be yourself, true, authentic self, 100%, that you can express yourself authentically, for whom you are, feeling that you do have a voice, that you are allowed, giving yourself permission to speak your truth, I feel is just the most empowering energy and feeling to have within. We can get into that inner confidence, that inner resilience, that inner knowing that we matter, that we make a difference, that we are important.
It's feeling valued, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Now, does that present emotionally or physically, or both, do you think?
Both. If we're feeling empowered, like body language, just by sitting back with our shoulders back, our head, tilted straight, and our eye lines straight, the corners of our mouths turning up, that gives us a sense of empowerment. We can actually get into empowerment just by using our body language. Disempowerment is if we've got our shoulders low, if our chin is pointing downwards and our eyeliner is pointing down, that actually feels disempowering. If we actually see someone with that body language, they're basically trying to disappear, you will know that they're feeling disempowered about themselves. Whereas if you see someone standing there, straight spine and their shoulders back and their head up and their eyes straight forward and that crease up with their mouths, up into a smile, you get that feeling, that energy that they are.
You're making me sit up straighter. Shoulders back.
But you do, as the answer to your question, it is physical and it's emotional. If we're having the thoughts that I am an important, what I have to say is, and my opinions are important and significant and are of value, then that, it's emotional as well as physical, that sense of empowerment, definitely both.
So, I usually bring this up later, but maybe we'll speak about it now. And when you're feeling disempowered, do you think you can change by just changing your body language?
Many things, but yes, body language, absolutely 100%.
The thoughts, your body posture, if you change that, even when you're feeling down,
yes,
you can feel better.
We can change our state by changing our physiology. That is a fact. It's a universal fact that we can. Also, when we change what thoughts we're going through. So if we're having the disempowering thoughts of I'm not good enough, or what I have to say is not important, or who am I to have an opinion, or they're not going to think that what I'm saying is of value or importance. If those thoughts are going through our mind, then that is going to create that sense of disempowerment, as opposed to if we're having the thoughts, I'm important, I'm significant, what I have to share is really valuable, it's inspiring, I love helping people, I love making people feel good about themselves, I know people really respond to the words that I'm using and saying, then that will change, that will fall into our physiology. So the thoughts that we're having, our body language, also what we wear. Like today, I'm wearing something red. So for me, red is a powerful, strong, positive color. So if I want to feel empowered, I'll put something on, as well as a beautiful pair of Louise M shoes.
Thanks, Myia.
And that will create, when people take care of what they look like, and I'm not saying, we all have to be, beautiful like in magazines or anything else. I'm just saying, take care, respect your body and your appearance. Because if you look in the mirror and your hair's dirty, you're wearing dirty clothes and creased and everything else, that's not going to be empowering for you. Whereas if you take the time, that self-love, self-nurture, self-care, and put the clothing on that makes you feel good, makes you feel empowered, then you will feel it. You will feel it. So you've got the body language, you've got the positive thoughts in your mind, and you're wearing something that makes you feel good and feel empowered. You're wearing the fabulous Louise M shoes, then you're going to really radiate this beautiful, empowered energy.
Yes, you just reminded me that your red shoes are being made at the moment in the Italian factory, and they'll be here in a couple of weeks. So that's exciting. I just remembered that. So Myia, what is intriguing me, and this is really what the series is about, is going from childhood to adulthood, and how you felt as a child. Did you feel empowered or confident, strong, valued, heard as a child? So let's speak about that. Let's speak about, your family, how many siblings, male, female, and was it your mum, parents that made you feel empowered or disempowered? Let's start with that first.
Okay, I've got two brothers, one older one and one younger one, and so I'm in the middle. And with empowerment, mum empowering, dad disempowering. Some of the time, dad disempowering. So I'll start with the disempowering. When I was around 15 years old, I left England because my parents were going through a pretty messy divorce. So I just wanted to get away from there. So I said to them, because my older brother was living in England, I said, can I go to boarding school in England? And they said, okay, because I just wanted to get away from it, because it was very disempowering actually to be around the fighting and stuff. Yeah. So I went to boarding school in England, and because I came from being basically top of every part of my schooling, and then when I went to England, the difference in in the education was huge. So I went from being, like prefect and 100% and A and all that to right down the bottom. And it was also cold there. So I would just stay inside. I wouldn't be doing any of the exercise that I was doing. I wasn't in any of the teams, sport teams or anything like that. So the only thing that I did was actually eat. I was eating a lot and I put on a lot of weight. So when I went home for holidays, I had put on weight, and my dad said to me, like my mum would just go, oh, and not say anything, just give me a hug. My dad would tell me, wow, you're fat. And he kept on saying to me, you're fat. and you're really fat pretty much every day. You're fat, you're fat, you're fat. So that was incredibly disempowering for me. Whereas my mum, she would always say to me when I was in Perth, Western Australia, that whatever you put your mind to, Myia, you'll achieve.
Right.
You are amazing. You are smart. You're clever. You're intelligent. And when I would go to any of my sporting things, you're going to become captain. You're going to win every race. I mean, it was empowering, but also it sort of led me to being a bit of a perfectionist because I had to perform or else. So it's a little bit of a tricky one there, but she did instill in me that whatever you put your mind to, you will achieve, because you are smart, you are intelligent, you are beautiful, you are, and all of that empowering stuff. I also had my grandmother, who actually lived to 102.
Whoa.
I'd hear all her stories because she lived next door to us. And she was like the first, because she lived in India. She was born in India and lived in India for quite a bit of her life. And she would tell us stories that she was the first female bus driver in India. And I went, oh, okay. And she would tell us stories about they were building their new home, and they'd be living in a tent. And she would have a shotgun next to her bed, and tigers that would go past, she would go, open the flap, and, if they were coming, she would shoot tigers to protect us, or, to protect my mother and brother. And then I was asking my mum, I said, well, what about snakes? Yes, snakes would come. But my grandmother wouldn't shoot the snakes because she needed the bullets to shoot the tigers. So I said, well, how did she get rid of these cobras? And she said, well, she would get like this long stick with like a little fork at the end, pen the snake down behind its, the cobra head has got a big head, and then get another stick and just whack it.
Oh.
So, to me, those stories, I just realized that she was a really powerful and obviously an empowered woman, for her to be so resilient, and that she would just get on with it. And, I have to protect my family. This is what I'm going to do, even if it means shooting a shotgun at the tigers or killing the cobras. Like, it was like, wow, if she can do that, I can do anything. I don't have tigers coming towards me. I don't have cobras and all that. So, wow, if she can do that, hey, my life is a piece of cake, really.
Yeah. So did the disempowerment that your father put upon you, and the empowerment that your mother and your grandmother put on you, did that counterbalance the disempowerment, or did the disempowerment affect you more?
I know that with the psychology and everything that I've learned doing what I do, that the negative is
the other.
Is much stronger. So I think that is why it instilled in me this sense of perfection. If I get 100%, then I'm worthy, or people will love me if, or a few things happened and then I did lose weight and went back to what I used to be. And then I was more accepted by my father. So yeah, it created a motivation or an incentive to perform, to be what I thought other people wanted me to be. I was told basically from my father that, yes.
Amazing the influence it can have. So going on to, it sounds like the school was a little disempowering as well, because the school in England, you kind of went backwards with that as well. So
but just when I was in Perth, I went to Santa Maria College, And another person outside of the home who did empower me was a lady called Lynn McKenzie, and she was our swimming coach. And she was the first woman to win gold in butterfly in the Olympic Games. I think it was Mexico City in '68. And she was only 17 when she won. And then she came to become a swimming coach for Santa Maria. And she was just the most inspirational, empowering, amazing person that I've pretty much ever come across. That really instilled in all the swimmers in the team that you are the best. You can do it. You can win. But she did it in a way that was empowering. Not, you have to.
It was believable. You could believe it. Not, it wasn't a false. Yeah.
No. And what happened was we were the best team. We always won our inter-school swimming, and we were the best because she had so much faith in us. We wanted to live up to that faith, and she was such a loving, wonderful, positive, happy person. We wanted to make her proud, and I found her incredibly empowering because she had so much faith, so much belief in us. Right. And that's what I want to do now with my clients, and that's what I do with my clients, is to really instill that in them, have that belief in them. That's all people need, is just one person who has got that belief, real belief in them, and then they will live up to that expectation.
Yeah, I went to Santa Maria too at a different time from you. I don't think she was there because I tried to get out of swimming every time.
Well, she couldn't have been there in that case because
I was always busy doing something else at swim time. Yeah. But anyway, so Myia, going on to adulthood, and you have created this amazing business. I mean, we used to fly together. We were flight attendants together at SkyWest Airlines, and that's where I first met you. And we've gone on a business journey together after flying. So I do know you quite well. But yeah, how would you say your childhood affected you going into adulthood and into your business? How did you find that empowerment when you were so disempowered? Was it education? Was it through networks? Was, as you say, there was one person, but as an adult, was there someone else, mentorships, or, what was it?
Yeah, it was definitely because I'm fascinated about how the mind works. The more I learned, the more trainings that I did, the more information I had about how the mind works, how we can collaborate with the mind. I then realized that I could actually release any limiting beliefs or programming, as in, what my dad had, unconsciously installed. He was only doing what he was capable of. Like, he was born in England, and his father, he had to call his father sir. He never said to his dad or father or whatever. So that, and then he went to boarding school pretty much from when he was really young to when he finished school. So that was all he was capable of. He wasn't capable of anything else. No. So the more I learned about how the mind works, and then basically did the work on myself while I was working with my clients, that really opened my mind up to, okay, so I can release those limiting beliefs and the limiting programming, and install all the new positive, empowering programming. So, and having the last lot of training that I did, which is real cutting edge, the Rapid Transformational Therapy, the lady who started that, her name is Marissa Peer. And for me, just learning from a female, because all my previous trainings have been with men, I just found it really empowering, because she was just moving forward, and she was expanding her business, growing her business, and she was empowering so many lives around the globe, that her looking up to her made a huge difference, because I just thought, well, if she can achieve this amazing life, then so can I. And then if I can, then I'm going to share that every bit of information with my clients. So having a mentor, having amazing insights and trainings, reading all the books, listening to the podcasts, YouTubes, all of that is, and also surrounding myself with positive, empowering people. That makes a huge difference, as opposed to disempowering people, as opposed to negative people. So I find that it really makes a massive difference if you surround yourself with people who are looking to help others, to make a positive impact, to make a difference in this world. I find that just hugely uplifting and inspiring.
Well, I'm not only sitting up straight I'm going to speak very positively. I do know I need to speak positively around you. You don't put up with any negativity, so it's very, very good being around you. Yeah, so a lot of your clients I'm just assuming, come to you and they're feeling disempowered.
Mm-hmm.
So what's a couple of tips that you might give to them just to quickly feel more empowered?
Is to basically change what their inner dialogue is. If it's negative and disempowering, change it to the exact opposite. To visualize in their mind best case scenario, as in what if best case scenario. There's a lot of clients will come to me initially and they're thinking of what if worst case scenario. What if I never find my career path that I feel is incredibly fulfilling or on purpose? What if I never attract my ideal partner? What if my health is always going to be this bad? They always do the what if and low. What if best case scenario? So just imagining how it would feel, if you're in your career, if you attract your ideal partner, if you have the most amazing health, if you're financially free, because majority of my clients, they want to have that sense of financial freedom, but there's something that's locked in their subconscious that's not allowing them to attract and manifest the financial abundance that they want. So it's to be aware of what your thoughts are, be aware of what you're projecting and imagining in your mind. Once again, the physiology, finding out what program is holding us back, what belief that we're running on, and changing it to the new belief of what we do, installing the new belief. People come in with the identity or the label of I'm not smart enough, let's say, for example. So that belief and that expectation of life is always going to be this hard, they live up to that. They live up to that label. So let's change it, because the subconscious doesn't care if it's right or wrong, good or bad. The subconscious just believes what we believe. So if we choose a new belief that's empowering, that I can do whatever I set my mind to, that I can attract and manifest financial freedom, having that positive expectation, having that belief actually creates that as the reality. The people out there who think, okay, well, I'm never going to get ahead in life. If they're having those thoughts and they're projecting it in their mind, they will never get ahead in life. Whereas the people who are projecting it in their mind, whatever I set my mind to, I can achieve and take the actions, then that's what will happen. That is 100% guaranteed.
Yeah, it's really nice to know that even, as a child, if you had a disempowering environment, that you can change these things. But it's also interesting, Myia, that if you listen to your mum more than your dad, she was actually giving you empowering things too. It's amazing what we actually listen to. And as a child, I guess we don't have those skills yet. And wouldn't that be great if we instill those skills on our children and grandchildren now?
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, they should be teaching this sort of mindset stuff in school. And I know that Marissa Peer, I think she's doing it in England and maybe Spain, and she wants basically to have this program in every school.
Yeah.
And that way, the child is not going to have, you know, these negative beliefs installed and hardwired into their mind. We will be able to install empowering beliefs, you know, that they are good enough, that they are smart enough, that they are intelligent enough.
Well, you've got me on to listening to Marissa Peer too, and you,
good.
of course. But Myia, yeah, just tell us about the Jack Canfield experience you had with him. Yeah, being interviewed by him.
That just shows. This is a good example of how powerful the mind is. I had put it out there to the universe, as I like to put it, that I wanted to be on a platform with a heart-centered person who is inspiring and empowering to get my message across, because I want to help as many people across the globe as I possibly can. So I had that thought. That was my intention. And then just a few days later, I got an email from the Jack Canfield team, because I was on their newsletter, and asking, was I interested in being interviewed by Jack Canfield? And I thought, well, yes, please. And I hadn't even thought of that. I just had put it out there that I wanted to be on a platform with someone that I really admired and respected. And then that came through. So I applied, and then I had a phone interview with them, and that was the next day. And they said, yes, absolutely. Are you free to fly in a couple of weeks' time to Santa Barbara? And I said, yes, absolutely.
Wow, that's
and yeah, it was amazing. He was just incredible. And yeah.
Because I know he's been, you know, an inspiration to you as well. And yeah, a bit of a kind of a mental fire video. Yeah.
Definitely. So it's amazing how powerful our mind is. And, you know, I'd like to leave with your listeners or your audience that our past does not define us. We are not our past. What we have is the present and the future. So just being now in the present, as we wake up in the morning, this is a brand new day. What is the belief? What is my expectation for today? And we can change it at any moment, because this is right now, this is in the moment. The past is behind us, the present is now. Wow, what an incredible world that we live in. If we have that expectation and that energy and that vibration, universal law will say that you will attract that back to you. You will attract that vibration, that energy back to you.
Okay, my shoulders are back. I'm speaking positively and I'm putting it out there to the universe. So what a fantastic conversation we have just had. If anyone wants to get in touch with you and learn more about what you do, how do they go about that? What's the best way to contact you?
They can hop onto my website, which is mindmotivationcoaching.com. Send through an email. They can contact me on Instagram or Facebook. And I always offer a free consultation, 20-minute Zoom video phone call consultation. And we can just have a little discussion, and I can share how I can help that client. And yeah, and I've got lots. If people hop onto my website, actually onto my homepage, if they type in their email address, I've got so many free resources and audios and raising your vibration audios. So yeah, I would love to send all those resources to them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Myia, just been an absolute pleasure talking with you today. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and I hope we can speak again soon.
Wonderful. Lovely speaking with you too.
Okay.
Take care.
See you, Myia. Bye.